doesn't normally happen. At the weekends, we sometimes do live streams, but during the week, we tend not to do outside live streams because, well, outside live streams at this time of the year are not necessarily the best thing in the world, especially when it's cold and wet. But something bad happened to my Chevrolet Bolt the other day, and I feel kind of obliged to tell you what happened. You see, we were driving back on Friday from picking up a shelving unit for Transport Evolved so that we can store all of our camera gear and everything a little bit better. And then this happened. Or more appropriately, oh dear, a deer happened. So, for those who don't know, I live in the foothills of the coastal range, otherwise known as the Tualatin Mountains, depending on which way around you want to cover it. And we were driving back home up our road. We live in the countryside, and there's a particular part of the road that we live on that is known for having deer along it. As in, there are always deer, like summer, winter, spring, autumn, whenever. There's always deer in a field, or there's deer crossing the road or something else. And driving back on Friday evening, it was about 4:00 in the evening, maybe 4, actually a bit later than that, about 4:40. And we were driving along, and my wife said something to me, and I said, I'm sorry, I need to concentrate because we're entering the deer zone. And so we drove along and we got through the deer zone, and then this happened. We turned the corner. It was just a bit of a very kind of very short corner, and a deer literally launched itself at the car. We had no time to react. I was probably doing about 35 miles an hour at the time, and I felt that this would be a bit of a teaching moment, just to remind you all that deers are big. And if you hit a deer, then bad things happen. Now, the deer, because we were only doing 35 miles an hour, the deer basically jumped out. I started to brake and I went to swerve, and this is where we hit the deer. The deer then damaged all in here. And I'm making this video now because we haven't had a chance to make a proper video on it yet, because we need to take this down to the repair centre immediately after this video is finished recording. We're editing some other stuff at the moment, so this was going to be a featured video, and then I decided, you know what, let's do it as a live stream, and I can answer your questions and show you what's wrong. You can see there are big chunks of this inside the car, but kudos to GM for what is a very carefully designed radiator cowl. Now, had we not had this, I'm pretty sure that we would have got a hoof or something into the radiator. And honestly, I think that we were very lucky. Now, just as a reminder, this is a live stream, so if you want to super chat us, ask us a question, you can do. This is all broken, so this is going to need to be replaced. This is broken, it's going to need to be replaced. Inside, we think it's okay. There is a little bit of rodent damage because we live in the country, and rodents do like to hide in EVs, whether it's a Bolt or a Tesla or whatever else your vehicle. It is a common problem, and as someone said, it's the soy in the cables. And so you have to regularly check underneath. But you can see this light has been pushed back. So this light is out of alignment. This has been cracked here. So I don't know if you can see. There's a crack here. This is all cracked up here. This side is okay. That's what it should look like. but you can see it's definitely a bit of crackage going on there. Now, as far as I can tell, the body panels are in pretty good condition. I mean, I can't see any like damage to the cross member. This is just plastic, so it's easily fixed. And the car does still drive. So we are going to drive it to the repair centre. And so I guess the thing I ought to tell you is, what you should do if you do get into an accident with a deer or a moose or anything else. Now, obviously, there are ways that you can mitigate this. Drive slowly if you know there are going to be deer around. Make sure that you are 100% paying attention. And there are some questions people are asking, how would autopilot have reacted? How would other things have reacted? Would an automatic emergency braking system have saved you? Now, my wife's Bolt does have automatic braking. Mine does not, because I've got the base model. And I've got to admit that I think in this case, it wouldn't have made much difference, because it jumped out literally in front of us and I had a split second to react. Now, I have Nokian Hakkapeliitta R3 winter tyres on, and I honestly think, had it not been for those tyres, I probably would have skidded. I probably would have hit the deer. I probably would have done more damage. People say, why do you bother getting winter tyres on your car? The benefit of winter tyres is that winter tyres are much, much better at gripping when the temperature is cold. And it was a cold, wet day. I braked in a hurry. I was able to stop. You can see my car is really filthy right now. But I believe that the brakes really did help us. The tyres really did help us. Now, we have winter tyres. Nokian Hakkapeliitta R3s, they have siping on these to help with the winter tyres. You can see there. We drive with winter tyres, and these really do improve your braking when it's cold. When it's hot, it's the other way around. When it's hot, these are no good at all. But these are great in the winter. They really do give you added grip, especially up here in the Tualatin Mountains. We get a lot of freezing fog, which we've had for the last couple of days. I mean, if I pan up, you can see it's not particularly pleasant out, and does make a really big difference. Now, someone was asking, how is the deer? The deer, I suspect I broke its legs. The force of the impact, it was running across the street when it ran in front of my car. It rolled. That's where it hit obviously the primary damage was occurred there. And then it rolled off into the bush. I don't believe that I killed it, but I definitely hard hurt it to the point that things are really... I don't think it survived long term. Like I say, I am going to go to the car repair place shortly. We've been working on a video from Ample today, the battery swap specialists in San Francisco. We're going to go and do that. We'll be working on that video today and tomorrow. I've got to go and deliver some rushes to Winter so he can work on colouring it. But I thought you'd all like to see this, because obviously I don't know if I'm going to get my car back tonight. Probably not. Interesting though, when I spoke to the repair place, the local repair shop in Beaverton, the person I spoke to on the phone said they owned a Bolt as well, because I was like, I guess you don't have any electric rental cars. And she said, no, but I feel your pain because I own a Chevy Bolt as well. So, it's been a bit bittersweet. They've definitely told us it's about 2 to 3 weeks to wait for parts. Like I say, we're going to need a new light fixture. Probably going to need to align this up here. No cracking, but the bumper's gone here. This bumper is completely broken. This trim piece has stayed on, but interestingly, this trim piece here has not, because I hit the deer heaviest on this side of the car. So I hope there's no damage. I don't think there's any issues to the wheels. But the other thing that's kind of caught my attention, and I can't decide whether it's me or not, is I feel that the panel gap there and the panel gap there are not the same as they used to be. So we'll have to wait and see. We really will have to wait and see. At the moment, we're waiting for the battery replacement for both this car and this car, which is going to be interesting. But I would like to shout out to my insurance provider, who was absolutely amazing. Thank you, Progressive. They dealt with my car very quickly. Hopefully they're not going to write it off like they did last time, erroneously. We decided to give them one final go, and they actually did pretty well. They were able to sort out my claim within minutes. As you can see, this is going to need a replacement here because it's all cracked. The paint's cracked. You probably can't see it, but there's a crack right there on the paint. So I'm suspecting it'll be a new hood as well. The local repair place said that there is a repair place is going to be able to help us, and they should give us a courtesy car, but it'll be a gas car. So unfortunately, that is the pain in the butt. So it did properly charge up. We were worried about that. And my advice, if you ever get in an accident, somebody said don't show your license plate. Everybody knows my license plate. I am okay with my license plate. Future vehicles we may not. I don't show my wife's license plate. But my license plate is is fairly well known at this point. So obviously this is going to need to be replaced. Some other bits and bobs. They're going to give me a quote. They said it'll take about 10 minutes. And then we go from there. But the back of the car is obviously okay. We were actually towing at the time of the accident. I had this trailer on the back. This little trailer there. This little trailer was on the back. It stopped just fine. No fuss, no muss. Nobody ran into us. That was all good. So the back of the car is doing just fine. The rest of the car is looking pretty awesome. So if you do get in an accident with your vehicle and you need to have some kind of remedial work done, and you're not sure if your vehicle does indeed need to go to the repair centre, or if indeed it is safe to drive, the first thing you should do is obviously make sure everyone is okay. I'm just putting my chickens to bed. I hope you don't mind. You need to make sure that everyone is okay. And then what you need to do is, obviously if the airbags have gone off, you can't drive it if the airbags have gone off. I would advise against it. If no airbags went off, we had no airbags go off. Just stop, check around the car, make sure it works. And if it does, then what you can do, I would say, is very carefully check for broken cables, for broken suspension, for broken parts, broken discs. Obviously check your tyres. Also make sure that the car is not peeing. And that's really important as well. As someone said, they live just down the road from me. I don't know if that's because they figured out where I live, or if you are in fact one of the people who waves at me when you go past in your electric car. I'm always kind of not sure when people wave at me and I'm out walking the dog or whatever. Because, but make sure that you check for radiator leaks or any other issues with the car. In our case, it was fairly obvious. There was not a puddle of fluid. We've been parked. I can show you we've been parked. I've been parked right here. There's no fluid on the ground. Obviously there's water because it's been wet, but there's no fluid on the ground. There are no warning lights inside, so I'll drive it. It'll probably be safe to drive to the repair centre, and then I'm going to leave it there because I don't want the liability of driving around with this all open. That's not particularly pleasant even. Had a bit of a stutter there, I apologise. Check for no deer antlers in the battery casing. Yeah, in our case, it was unfortunately a young doe. I'm kind of consoled by the fact that it's the wrong time of year for her to have young, so hopefully that will be the other thing. I own a WRX, and every other WRX owner waves at me. Bolt owners couldn't care less. Funnily enough, I wave at other Bolt owners, and very often I get a Bolt wave back. It's one of those things. So there you go. So we are okay. We're waiting for the battery. I spoke to GM last week, and the update on the battery is that we don't have an update on the battery yet. We are waiting for the battery replacement. We've also put in a buyback request. I hope to goodness that we don't get the buyback offer come in while the repair is being done on this. We don't have the Mark E yet, unfortunately, so we're stuck with these two cars right now. If the Mark E was here, I think if we got a buyback offer on one of the cars, we'd probably keep it. Thank you, Anonymous Freak. You are amazing. Thank you so much. Then, I think we would probably go ahead and get some repairs done, or not get some repairs done, just go ahead and do that. What's the range in that? I mean, we still have decent range. So, there we go. Yeah, should have gotten Teslas, eh? Oh, that's an original comment. God, if only I'd have thought of that. What a shame. God blimey, I can't believe I'm so stupid. So there you have it. The Bolt is going to be fine. She starts up, I can show you. She does start up and turns on and looks good. I think that's the standard thing here. Let's find out. Yeah, I hit a deer. The title kind of gave it away a little bit. But yeah, she's still got 159 miles of range. Car seems to be all working. It goes into gear. It goes into reverse. It's all good. So everything works as it should be. However, there is one thing that we have not been happy about, and that is that the touchscreen has started to fail. I don't know if you can see that. The button just does not want to work, and so we've got a new one of these that came. It was about $100. Let me shut the door here. It's about $100, and so it will be able to fix the issue with this touchscreen. I suspect it had the same issues that a lot of other cars. We will hopefully fix that. Hopefully you can still hear me. We'll have to wait and see. But thanks for joining me. Thanks for talking. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It is good to hear you, see you, and chat with you. Michael, our new camera guy, is joining us this Wednesday. So we're really super excited. We've got some other stuff happening, but until then, keep your eyes peeled for more content from the channel. If you want to support the channel, please do through Patreon, Bitcoin, and Ko-fi. The birds are definitely making all kinds of evening bird noises. It's getting late here. The sun is going to go down very soon. So I will let you know how we get on with this. I'll let you know how we get on with the Bolt battery swap. We have a long distance road trip for CES this year. We are officially going to CES. I can now confirm that the 5 of us, so that's myself and Kate Walton-Elliott and Erin and Winter and Michael are all going to CES. We're going to be taking 2 cars. Unfortunately, I don't think Artemis is going to be one of them because she doesn't have a new battery yet, but also she just hit a deer. So what cars am I looking forward to seeing at CES? Well, we know that VinFast is going to be there. So that is going to be really awesome. And then hopefully we're going to see, hopefully we'll see the Silverado, maybe the Hummer. I really want to see Damon Motorcycles is going to be there as well. So I'm sure that someone on the team will be taking their motorcycle gear. And people are saying, am I in the UK? For those who are watching for the first time, no, I live in Oregon. This is my house. I live in rural Oregon with the project car. Canoe should be there. Hopefully we'll see them. We really want to get this running next year, so help us get this running. For those who don't know, this is a Honda Insight with an EV1 motor in it. We just haven't had the time or the money to get this running, but we will soon. My chickens, come on chickens, it's bedtime. They're thinking about it. The youngsters are still outside. The adults have already gone in. So hopefully after I finish recording, we will do that and make it happen. So yes, I'm American, but also British, but also Canadian. So I'm a mongrel, quite literally. I also play one on TV or something. So there we go. We're going to be doing this long distance road trip. We might have to take a gas vehicle, which worries me and pisses me off slightly. But, you know, there we go. Polestar hopefully will be there as well. BZ4X, probably not. Toyota 10 knots to bring a lot of things. Our Deer's normally anti-EV. Well, look, when a car is driving along the road above like 20 miles an hour, the noise of the tyres is the loudest thing. So the Deer would have heard us. But then, you know, these things happen. You can't stop a deer from jumping out in front of you. It is unfortunate, but yes, one more shot for poor old Artie. She is not very happy. She's going to go to the repair shop as soon as I'm done with this video. Hopefully we can get everything done and fixed. I've had a couple of very close near misses on this road. Without showing you my address, without showing you where I live. It is a very rural road, as you can see. It's a very rural road, and in case you are curious, this is another tale of woe. In this bucket is some cloths that my wife was using with boiled linseed oil that caught fire. So they're sitting outside, and then we'll dry them out in the summer, and we'll dispose of them properly. But there you go. Hopefully it's all good. Hopefully. Maybe cover that hole before driving so water doesn't get in. Well, you know, we don't have far to go. It's only about 20 miles. I'm going to jump in the car now. Hopefully they're going to have a rental for me. I hope it. I've been told it's a furry-friendly car, which is a good thing. It'll be a Subaru. I made that joke like 5 weeks ago on the show and nobody picked it up, which I think was kind of funny. One of my greatest fears is coming upon a deer in the road without time to stop. That's true, but better to hit a deer than, say, a bear or a moose. So, you know, there we go. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Don't forget you can support us through Patreon, Bitcoin and Ko-fi. We are so close to our new our new goal for Patreon. So literally, if 20 of you all signed up for $1 a month, I think we'd probably hit our goal for this month. So please, if you haven't already, consider supporting the show from as little as $1 a month. It really does help us. We have a new video editor coming on, and so hopefully we'll be able to get some more videos out. I sat down with the team this morning and we have planned out an entire month and a half's worth of videos. We just have to edit them now, and that is the tough challenge. Thanks for watching. Tomorrow will be a video about ample battery swapping, which we are super excited to show you. And then on Wednesday, we'll be doing a video about our new video editor. We're going to meet him, we're going to talk to him and find out what car he drives. Hint, hint, he recently changed his car and we had a positive impact. But until then, thanks for joining me, and as always, keep evolving.